Who let the albinos out? Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Today you have the Rhino, we're going to drink a beer. Today's beer is right here beside me. It is from Collective Arts. It is 7.1% alcohol. It is IPA number 2, which is Mosaic, Simcoe, and Waimea hops. Now, we did IPA number 1 recently. The IPA number 1 was canned exactly a year before the review. This stuff just ends up piling up in the other room. And I do try to get to them, but sometimes things happen. So this one was canned in April, so 10 months old now. 10 months old. So what we're going to do with this is the same thing we did with the last one. We're going to drink it. I'm not going to give it a rating per se because I do know it's old. It's my own fault. It's old. It's been sitting here for a while. I just have had... I don't drink much anymore because of the fact that I am taking care of myself differently than I was before. And in all honesty, there are just so many IPAs on the market right now that I get a lot of them. I end up with like 30 or 40 IPAs at a time, and I just can't drink IPAs straight all the time. And if I'm only drinking 3 or 4 beers a week, it ends up getting backlogged. So what I'm doing right now is every week I take 2 beers from the new pile on the table, and I take 2 beers from the spare room, which is the old stock, and I try to go through them because stuff on the table for the most part isn't hoppy, because it's stuff I bought, and as most of you know, I'd rather drink stouts and stuff. So yeah, let's get to this, right? So we're gonna pop it open. Shit, son. The year-old version did not head up as much as this. So that's a lot of head. And you can see it's still rising. So there was probably still some live yeast in this can, and since I don't refrigerate my beer, it causes that problem. I kind of like that guy though. That'd be a good little art thing to put up on the wall. Okay, so what did we have in here? Mosaic. I've never worked with Waimea hops, so I don't know exactly what that one is supposed to be. I know Simcoe very well. I know Mosaic very well. Simcoe shouldn't really fade as much over time. Mosaic is like one of the middle hops for fading. Waimea, I don't know. Oh, crazy golden color. Fuck off with your bone. Pick it up. Pick it up. Keep it in your mouth. Don't drop it on my foot. Just came right over to my foot. Anyway, let's give the beer a sniff. A little bit of like mango and passion fruit out of the can, as well as like just resiny hoppiness. So like, when I say resiny hoppiness, people don't get that, right? I'm talking like, sorry, I'm putting my stuff down right now. When I say resiny hoppiness, I'm talking like the oiliness off of the hops, that just cloying bitterness. Say you take some hop pellets or fresh hops and you do this with it in your hands and you give it a sniff, you're going to get that oily sensation that just clings to everything, and the pine oil type of thing, stuff like that. That's what I'm thinking of when I say resiny. And I've been saying resiny for 7.5 years, and I do bring it up every once in a while, and every so often in a video I'll say this is what I mean when I say this. But since I don't say it in every video, and you never know where people are coming in, like I've had guys come in and watch my very first videos and go, "You know nothing about beer." Well, yeah, you're watching videos when I was first learning about beer from 8 years ago, or you're watching videos from 8 years ago where it was my first time ever having a style and I didn't know what to expect, or you know when okay, no more. You don't get the bone anymore. Like, come on now. Okay, let's try it. Cheers. Much like the last one, this does not hold up because it's 10 months old. I understand why it didn't hold up, and it doesn't have the popping fruity flavors that I should get with those hop varieties. Fuck, there's so many bones in the house. She picked up another one. I don't care that she picks up the bones. Just carry them in your mouth. Put them down and chew them. Stop dropping them everywhere you go. She gave it to me, so I threw it on the chair. Anyway. I understand why they're not popping in flavor. But even 10 months old, this IPA is better than some fresh American IPAs, some fresh English IPAs, some fresh regular IPAs, some fresh New World IPAs. There are fresh IPAs that are not nearly as good as this 10-month-old IPA in my hand. I have an IPA number 3 and I think a number 4 in the other room. I don't have a number 5. I'm going to have to go ahead and get my hands on a number 5 because I hear that it's amazing. I know On the 10th made love to his can from what I've been told. So I will have to go out to an LCBO and get a number 5 is probably what's going to happen. And if I get a number 5, I'll do it fresh. I'll put it on the table and it'll be one of the ones I get to sooner. The table's wearing down on beers. That being said, what do I get off of this? I get a little bit of passion fruit, I get a little bit of orange, get a little bit of earthiness, and I get a little bit of that just resiny bitterness. Not much though, it's not all that bitter. Especially when you figure that most of the flavor would have worn off by now and you would have just mostly gotten the bitterness of the hops. Not all that bitter. And it's 7.1% alcohol. Never would I guess that. Never would I guess that. I like it. I like it. Even 10 months old, I like it. So, like I said, I'm not going to give it a mark as saying, hey, this is what I actually think of the beer. I'm going to say this is what I think of the beer aged. I think aged this beer still stands up. I don't think it's as great as some things like, say, a fresh Laser Show or a fresh 10 Bitter Years or a fresh, I don't fucking know, what other, a fresh, what was the one from, what was the one Steve sent me from BC that I loved so much? Not the Green Reaper, but the, I'm gonna have to look it up. But there's a bunch of them from BC I've gotten that have been fucking amazing. There's a bunch of IPAs around that are amazing IPAs. Juice bombs, basically, just full-on juice bombs. That's what I love. I love the New England IPAs and stuff like that. I love that hazy, crazy juice bomb of an IPA. Fruity IPAs, sometimes an earthy English IPA. But, I mean, not the greatest IPA I've had. Doesn't stand up to a lot of some of the better IPAs that are fresh. I wouldn't say if you love Witch Shark, this would be anywhere near a Witch Shark or anything like that. I don't particularly like it, but I have to pee if you're wondering why I'm wavering from side to side. It makes me take my mind off the pee. Anyway, so I don't think it stands up to some of the best IPAs in Ontario when they're fresh at this point. But I think some of the weaker IPAs in Ontario, this thing blows away even at 10%, 10 months old. And it's 7% alcohol and you wouldn't know it. What I would say is if this was 10 months old on a shelf, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. If this was fresh on a shelf, I'd probably give it an 8 or a 9 even, I don't know. But I'm going to say if I saw this fresh, if they made IPA number 2 again and it was fresh, I would pick it up just to try it now that I know how much I enjoy it 10 months old. So thank you guys for watching IPA number 2 from Collective Arts. 7.1% alcohol, still good 10 months later. Bye-bye.